And that's the last of the inventories we've been sorting out. Nice job, folks.
Thanks, Sam. Same, for you. I never thought you'd be able to organize stuff as quickly as I tend to do.
I've always been more relatively organized myself, although I wasn't always that way. Good thing some of us took some lessons from Mike before this.
Don't forget Natural Mike as well. He likes things that are pretty pristine the way it should be.
And I like it the way it is. Nice spots on where things should be, although, in my opinion, it could use more work. But otherwise, y'all did a great job.
We didn't do all of this for nothing, now did we?
Of course we didn't. If we did, why would we be saying all this?
Eva does have a point. Plus, if it wasn't for all those adventures we all had in the caves, as well as that battle against those illagers, we wouldn't be organizing away in this capacity.
Alright, so, now that we have some of the inventories squared away in our property, I wonder how some others are carrying along with their ends.
I can confirm that the McIntosh guys did their parts of the organization, and so did the Radar Overseer brothers and Kelly, Lernout and Hospies Michael and Michelle, and many other people we know. They especially built some houses and bases of their own to settle in away from their native homes.
Oh, I see. Well, considering the fact that you and Neo Robot are advanced robots designed to calculate things and do advanced interfacing and sensing and such, even fighting several battles, we can see that it would make sense for you to calculate stuff like this.
It would be even more handy if they could assist us with building.
We can do some parts of building, just not all of it, mind you. But speaking of assistance, I heard that a few people have built something of their own, which may end up assisting in that function more efficiently.
Do you know who built that something?
Let's explore this junction and find out.
Sounds good to me. Hopefully we'll see who built that something sooner or later. Who knows? Maybe it can help me organize my old trophy collection.
You have a trophy collection? Seriously? What's the latest one you got? The Salt Bomb Awards, 2020?
Yes, actually. First place. How do you know that?
Lucky guess. Who knows? Who knows indeed. Anyway, let's get ourselves a look at the junction and see how it's improving.
Yes, of course, after you.
Ooh, what house is this one?
I believe these are the houses built by G.N., Starla, Elijah, and Tiggy.
Ha, how can you really tell, other than advanced calculations?
Whoa, Alex. Where did you just come from?
Me and our crew were exploring nearly as much as you guys were, and I stumbled upon this place too. Strangely, the same thing happened when Scotty, Robert and Kelly were exploring. Coincidence, isn't it?
I guess so.
To answer your question, Alex, I can tell from the colors. Green and bright yellow representing Gian and Starla, and cyan representing both Elijah and Tidy.
Oh, I see now. Also, what do you think we should do now?
I got this.
Hello? Oh, hey Sam.
Hi, Gian. We just so happened to find this place from out of nowhere, when we were exploring all of Samco Junction. I just figured to knock in here, and we heard you guys were cooking up something there.
Oh, perfect timing. We just finished it.
Lovely. I wonder what it is like.
Why don't you guys come on down to the lab and find out?
Sure.
You like my place?
It's pretty good. Minimalist.
Does Elijah's house look the same?
More or less, yeah. Anyway, I'll give you guys a tour later. Right now, we're going down under these stairs. Hey, Elijah, we got some guests who want to see Project Voxel's first power on.
Oh, Sam and the others are here. You all are just in time to see me power a new robot on for the first time.
Wow! That robot there is looking very great, just like this lab.
It's about to get even better. How long till it's done?
A few seconds.
Hey, what's this?
Oh, that's the teleporter. It doesn't work yet. It's still a work in progress.
It's not gonna teleport us into walls, lines of fire, or nowhere Oklahoma, right?
No, Sam. I'm making sure it actually works as intended before I start using it regularly.
Yeah, we're not a modern software company. We're actually testing our shit before we deploy it.
Oh, I see. But anyways, before we get off topic, what about that robot you guys have been making?
Ah, yes. Right now we're calling it Voxel, and it's a construction robot. We hope it'll help with stuff like, well, construction. Plus, it'll be able to store about 4 shulker boxes worth of blocks and items.
Whoa, that's actually really cool. How would it help with construction? Oh.
Let's power it on and find out.
Hello, I am Voxel, the construction robot built by TGN and Elijah Rayner. Thank you for booting me up for the first time.
Haha, it works!
Wow, that looks really cool. Agreed. I love its design.
Why thank you, you too.
I did most of the designing, mostly inspired by some PS5 mods, and it looks amazing.
I took the PS5 inspiration to the next level with some of the sounds.
Neat.
So, Voxel, is it true that you have 4 shulker boxes worth of storage?
Yes, it is true. I can store about 108 stacks of one single block.
Can you do combat, or are you just a construction bot?
I wasn't intended for combat, since that's usually you guys' job. However, I can build a barrier in under half a second for defense.
Whoa, that's impressive. Is that all you can do? Oh?
No, I can place blocks, pick up blocks, demolish certain parts of structures, and I can even calculate structures using my custom-made soul processor.
What's a soul processor?
It's a silicon chip we made from soul sand. Turns out, it makes pretty awesome chips. The souls in the soul sand make it far more efficient than a conventional processor. In theory, the soul processor can dream up a 3D blueprint for a skyscraper with all the specs you need in a few seconds flat. Let's see NVIDIA accomplish that with their AI processors.
I think it'll be a helpful resource for building, especially when it's used alongside the ancient orb.
Wow, you guys surely have devoted yourselves to this project. Seriously, we commend you for your immense efforts. But anyways, what shall we do?
Hold on for one moment. Something's coming up. Hello?
Hey Sam, what's up? It's Pix. Are you and our friends doing anything at the moment?
Nothing much really. We're just seeing a demonstration of Gian and Elijah's latest invention. You might like hearing about it.
Well, that's awesome. Anyways, I've called to tell you all that We finally did it!
Did what exactly? What is it?
I'll give you a hint. It involves something we've been working on in the castle. I won't spoil any further details, but I just figured I'd give you guys something to work off of. I suggest y'all come over when you have the time. We can guarantee you will love this.
Alrighty then, we'll get to you as soon as we can. I'll be sure the other peeps are informed about this as well. Sam out.
Ooh, something good must have happened in that call. What did Pix say this time?
Something involving the castle. He says that we should go to it and find out some of the details.
Wow, cool. And I gotta say before we go, bravo to you guys, Gene and Elijah. You've put forth a lot of dedication and effort to this robot you've got. I'm absolutely positive you will come in handy for when we need certain structures to plan and build.
Certainly right. But anyways, we're definitely going to Pixelart's castle for the thing he and Junie have cooking up. It's something we cannot miss.
In that case, I'm coming too.
Me 3. I don't want to miss the tour of a castle.
Neither do I. I want to see if it has... Oh fuck it. The remark I was gonna make is too easy at this point.
Thank you for not saying what we all thought you were gonna say. But yes, we gotta go now. Lead the way, Sam.
Proudly I shall, Alex. Proudly I shall.
So they've already made substantial headway into their work. So that means I'll have to hurry and put my own spin if I want this to turn out great and worth anything. Although, there is something going on in the castle. I should investigate to see what Pix has been up to. Something to de-stress from this hard work. It means you'll have to wait, my creation. Castle of Pix, here I come.
I still can't believe Adam's gone. Yeah. But we'll carry on his legacy, all of us will. In the meantime, we signed up to come over here and explore, so let's do that. Yeah, Adam wouldn't want us to dwell on the past. We should make him proud instead. Come on, let's see what's going on out there in this new world. Alrighty. Where should we even start? Well, the king of this world, and one of Adam's best allies here, King Pixelart, just sent out a call to check out the castle. Why not start there? You're sure we'll be welcome? I think so. We're from the NCA. As long as we don't do anything to upset anyone, we should be alright. Yeah, we'll introduce ourselves, see if the king will let us in, and go from there. Alright, let's go!
Microsoft Sam plays Minecraft. Whoa, wait a minute, that wasn't there before. Gee, I guess Pix and his engineers have been really busy since then.
Wow, tell me about it. How much time did it take them to build all this without any problem?
I have absolutely no clue at all. The efficiency and brilliance of those guys. Damn, I wish I could be like that.
How much did they actually build, especially from this fucking tunnel?
How long does it actually take to get to Pix's castle again?
Not very long, really. It only takes a few minutes to get there from Samco Junction.
This will be Alex and I's first time in the castle. Can't wait to see what's inside.
Since us Macintalk voices have never been here before, guess we'll need some extra familiarization with what this major area is and what's around here.
I can agree with all that. Oh, and speak of the devil, we're here, aren't we?
Oh hell yes, I can see and smell the strong vibes of what's new around these parts. I love it.
Wow, I never knew a station like this could be one of those additions to the castle overhaul. It reminds me of Scotty, when we first fell in love.
Let's not get too carried away with love right now, because we're already here now. Speaking of which, where's Pix?
Oh hi there, Sam and everybody else. Come for the big demonstration for this new castle, eh?
Yes, we have. Pix called Sam and told all of us to come here. I'm guessing you two heard the same news.
Well, yeah. He told us to expect you all, so we did. But anyways, welcome. Shall we bring you to the throne room?
We'd love to see what Pix and Junie have to say for the matter, since we're all here. So yes, please do.
Good choice, my friend. Let's get you all there.
Pix and Junie, here the crew are. And from the looks of things, there are so many visitors here at once.
Wow, really? So many of you have come here? Well, that's good. I knew we needed to expect some. I didn't think it'd be that much.
Either way, we're all here now.
Just as I was gonna say. So you said there was something special that you guys are offering, right?
Precisely. If you look outside on the horizon, you can see that there are some of those different buildings there some meters due south of this position. This castle here is not the only thing that has been overhauled, or so to speak for the matter. When we were giving it a big old-fashioned update, we got hit with extra inspiration and said, why not expand that to a town? So here we are now!
Wow, holy damn. That's some serious dedication and pride taken for a town like that, let alone this castle which somehow got a 4th floor high up. So anyways, where do you think we begin and what you're gonna show us?
I suppose we should start with the main part of the castle. Oh, and if you're wondering where Johnny is, he's currently experimenting on some things with his V1 form and all that.
I see.
Yo, Pix, we got our newest lieutenants. Trained and more, holy crap. A lot of you are here already.
Remind us again, why are all these people here again?
While we sent you guys for the training, we sent Glia and Protocon to take Sam and the others to us. We want to be able to have a well-secured castle where anyone would be able to handle the most dangerous of threats that would come around in the future. We also informed you guys of their arrival beforehand, remember?
Oh, right. We were so focused on the training session, we forgot they were coming here. It's okay, Jacqueline, we all tend to make mistakes. But anyways, now that you're all here, let's say we get this tour started.
Oh yes, before we do that, actually, have they come over here, Junie?
What do you? Oh, wait. Here they are, actually.
Sweet, bring them in.
Thank you very much, King Pix. And the big crowd we got today, huh?
It's so lively we got a big crowd in this room, especially all in front of Pix's view. Heck.
Sam and everyone, this is Dr. Martha Esther and Nurse Kate Gooies. And Esther and Gooies, this is Sam, Mike, Mary, Scotty, and many of their friends who have come to tour this new neighborhood and newly improved castle.
Oh hi. Name's Microsoft Sam, but you can call me Sam.
Hi, Sam. You can call me Esther, Dr. Esther, or Martha. I don't care which you call me by, so long as we get to know each other.
You can also call me by Gooies, Nurse Gooies, or even Kate. I don't mind which way either. Esther and I are very fine and nice medical staff, and we're just getting started in this neighborhood. I heard this place is very vibrant, harmonic, and even healthy in ecosystem and environment.
Oh wow, that reminds me of when I used to be an unofficial medic before things in the Ruffle world changed. So, how do you do and what do you do for a living?
As a doctor and nurse, we take our pride in caring for and treating patients who are physically or mentally wounded or worn down. While Gooies here takes care of the mental side of things and I handle the physical incidents if and when ready, we make an excellent duo in making our patients happy. And since we moved to one of these spots that are completely close, we're willing to take part of your group if you guys want.
Of course, it would be an honor for that. I know it may seem overwhelming on your first days here with a very big group of machines, stick figures, and humans, but as long as you be yourselves and do your very best, you should both be fine.
You're too kind, King. You guys don't mind us sticking along on some journeys, do you?
We don't at all, because any friend or acquaintance of Pix is a friend or acquaintance of mine. As such, we give you a big and warm welcome, as part of our team.
Wow, this place is absolutely amazing with all the color and materials. I wonder how many minerals it took to procure just one room. No clue. But whoever the architect is, the king has quite an amazing looking castle. I love it. Look, there they are. That looks like him. Excuse me, sir. We are from the NCA's mining branch and are a small team of explorers from the North's homeworld. May we have your permission to join your tour?
Of course, absolutely. We're absolutely great allies of the NCA, especially in ties, so feel free to make yourselves at home whenever you can. Say, what are your names?
My name is Rose. I'm the leader of our team, ready to mine and fight wherever and whenever. I'm Tech, both a name and description for what I do. If you want specific gear, machines, or tune-up, I'm your man. He's also your nerd. Amber, not now, please. Okay, and I'm Amber. The mining specialist of the team as well as a specialist in heavy weaponry.
Wow, cool names, I will say. Anyway, what we're about to do in our parts is to tour around this neighborhood, including both this town and castle. Oh yeah, and since you're all from the NCA anyway, alongside all those attributes you each can do, are you down for joining us on the tour, as well as many of our future expeditions?
Of course we'd love to join. The tour sounds like fun and a good way to see more of this world. Exploration, blocks, climbing and walking. Count me in. My grappler will take me anywhere I want to go. Sure. It's such a nice change of pace from being down in caverns all day. Sweet. I love all the good and cheerful vibes going around. It's so wholesome. Anyway, Pixie, is it okay for us to get the tour started now?
Yes, indeed, we shall. So here's how we'll do this. Glia, Protocon, and Samurai, show some of our visitors some parts of Parsarkton.
Alright then.
Zevlar and Junie have some tourists exhibit the main part of the castle.
Alrighty then, Pix. We shall not let you down on that.
Kalvok, show some of your group the Golden Wing.
Aye, your majesty.
And Jabim, guide some through the Emerald Wing.
Got it.
What about you, Pix? What will you be doing?
I'll show a very deep part of this castle. One that's considered off-limits to some.
What do you? Oh wait. That part you're planning to show.
Yeah, we'll teach each other about those parts once we're all done with those respective tours. Now then, some of you go ahead and pick where you want to go.
Natural Sam and I already toured the main part of the castle once, so the two of us will go on that deep part, whatever that means. Yeah, we plan to learn a lot more about it.
Natural Mike and I will go on the Golden Wing. Yup. We've considerably gotten some things we're willing to learn about there, as well as the stuff we plan to keep note of.
Natural Mary and I will take the Emerald Wing, since I used to like emeralds before switching to diamonds. And let me tell you, emeralds are quite a marvel for weapons and blocks, though then again, we trade with villagers using them. Like, that hasn't changed since then.
I'll go through the main castle, since I need to refresh my memory on where that part is and how it all works and such. Though I could definitely say that part's gotten an extreme overhaul since we were last here.
I could imagine. Though I'll go with Mike and Natural Mike on the Golden Wing.
I'll be with Mary and Natural Mary on the Emerald Wing, since emeralds are my favorite gem.
I'm going with Sam and Natural Sam to the deep part of the castle. I'm curious to know what's in there, as well as what Pix means by that.
Gold ring for me, because why not?
I'll do the Emerald Wing. Not that it'll matter since we'll at least know what goes on in this castle.
I'm going for the main part. The main part has a kitchen for cheeseburgers, right?
You could say that, Tom. Then again, we make a lot of those meals with those included.
Aw fuck yeah, sweet.
I'm going with some of the tourists to the deep part of the castle, which I know the meaning of in terminology, but I won't say.
I'm definitely going the same route. Because I'm well informed of the deep thing that Pix informed me about.
I'll go tour the town of Parsodin or whatever it's called.
You mean Parsarkton, right?
Whatever. Anyway, I'll go to that town. Oh yeah, and Mark, do you want to go with?
No thanks, I'll tour the main part of the castle because of how gorgeous its decor is. It's also pretty cathartic to express it to those I know and meet.
Fair enough, I suppose.
I'll tour the main part of the castle too, because it sounds very elegant what has been worked on recently.
Me too. It's very gorgeous with all those diamonds, with very fine detail as well.
I call the gold wing.
I'll try the emerald wing then.
I'll give the gold wing a try.
I can go for the emerald wing, because I definitely don't see why I shouldn't.
I'll go toward the main part. I miss the parts with what the castle was like, and I feel the need to learn about that too. What about you, Zarvax too? I'm on the same boat as you, so I'll tour with you on the main part.
I'm with the main part. It's good to keep myself up to speed with essentials every once in a while, though I prefer the very fancy and advanced side of things fundamentally.
I know I've seen parts of the main castle before, but Kate and I never saw any either from the emerald or gold wings. Say, Kate, would you like for us to explore each of those wings?
Sure thing, Martha. If that's okay with Pix, then that's what we'll do.
I approve either way. Tour whichever end you two want.
Thank you. So, what say I tour the emerald wing while you tour the golden one?
Works for me just perfectly.
DJing and I are definitely going for the deep part as Pix described. I'm very interested in checking out the stuff behind that.
I bet there will be amethysts in that deep part of Woo. I will adore them so much if there are.
I'll go to the deep part too. It sounds really interesting, if that's okay with you, of course, dear. Wouldn't want to go anywhere off limits.
I want to check out Parsarkton. An entirely new town I haven't gotten to see. It sounds really interesting to me.
I'm checking out Parsarkton too.
Oh yeah, curious question, before I forget. Where are your girlfriends?
They're both still asleep.
Yeah, they were up all night, crafting some concrete for us.
Oh, that stands to reason.
Maybe that wasn't all they were doing, eh?
Wouldn't have expected that joke coming from you, shy boy.
Why, meant likely working on more than just that. They clearly look like they work with high-end technology. I wonder if they have any computers capable of bridging the distance through the merge.
Well, I know you're definitely gonna have fun on this tour, huh? You know what? We'll go with you guys to Parsarkton. Sounds neat.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how living here is like.
Maybe we can finally get you a girlfriend.
How can you not talk about stuff like this when we're just meeting these people? Please?
Just messing with you.
Hey.
Well, I'll be heading for the deep parts as well. Getting to see what Pix has hidden beneath just fascinates me.
I'll go for the emerald wing for some pacing. Michelle, you wanna go for the same?
Nah, I'd rather go for the gold, with all due respect.
Oh, alright then. Sounds fair. We'll catch each other up on what we can explore, right?
Oh yes, absolutely we will.
Thought so. Anyway, who else is going?
Princess and I are planning to explore the town.
Yeah. We've been eager to see what it's like, especially for enjoying the environment of it all.
I think that town will go well for you too. But be safe while exploring, okay?
We will, Dad. We can look after ourselves just fine.
Yeah. So, we can most definitely ensure we're not just standing around, waiting for something to do and so forth. And we're also heavily trained in safety.
That's absolutely great of you, young uns. You've learned a lot ever since I would babysit you two when your parents were gone for the day, years ago. Anyway, I'll try going for the gold wing.
I'll try going for the emerald wing. I know that even though we may be apart for this tour physically, we are all still together in our CPU hearts.
Ah, I see the very touching moment of friendship. Alright, looks like everyone has chosen where they want to go. All of you, split up into your groups and follow your tour guides. And don't get lost during your tours.
We all got it, for real sure. Alrighty then, let's go everyone. Alright folks, here we are. The emerald wing of this castle. How do you guys like the structure of it thus far?
Wow, that's neat. You and everyone else here have done so well with it. It takes me back to when I first found emeralds.
Gotta agree. You've all outdone yourselves on that.
I didn't expect anything like this to be this big, but condensing the hallways into thinner passages with some rooms for the swing made it much better.
Yeah. You guys have outdone yourselves either way, so congratulations for your efforts.
I'm with the rest on this one. This is pretty decent with a good use of scales and angles.
Emeralds. My favorite. Not trying to be a hardcore fan here, but yes, I love these emeralds so much. Nice job with those touches.
Yeah. You guys and those architects must have put in immense effort and backbone to flesh these halls and rooms out.
Thank you for your feedback, guys. Much appreciated. Now then, let us get to the real point of the showcase.
Okay, so where do we get to first?
So first off, we got the horse stable. Suitable for when you need to park your horses to the castle, if you're riding one.
Oh yes, that's the perfect place for Gardash, who is the pet horse that Sam, Mike, the Naturals, the robots and I own. Sam likes to take him out for a ride every now and then, but there are some times when we've seen him riding him even in extreme moments.
Yeah, you might want to advise that unless your horse is properly trained, some horrible things are subject to happen to him. Or her, I don't judge.
We'll keep that in mind.
Don't worry much about that in any way, because I don't just heal humans and stick figures with these. I can do so with plenty of other life forms too.
Wow, you can? Not even I could do that.
Eh? You learn something new every day. Thought this was a fun fact for you to learn about me.
Next up we have the farm outside that we own. Why own a farm if you're not farmers, you might ask? Well, it's important that we get the nutrients we need, because we don't want to starve to death. Everyone must eat to survive. That's what many people have researched.
Oh, that's very true. Though there are quite a few bad foods you would not want to eat, and some are really poisonous as far as I can note.
Yeah, that's why we gotta eat healthy. Even phones like myself need to look out for the unhealthy kind.
I can vouch for that as a doctor. Though I always advise to eat healthy every time, mostly fruits and vegetables. Heck, I could even advise eating some grilled foods if I wanted to, that way not much vegetable oil is consumed.
I'm more into the mix between fried and grilled foods, depending on what the situation calls, or if I'm being frank. Though of course it's how I am with my diet. Anyway, next to the farm we have its storage room. This one stores the farm food and ingredients that are needed to make some of that food.
If I had a loaf of I-Way bread in my hands, I would go for some of that no problem. I would also butter it up massively, though it'd only be for Sam and Natural Sam. For myself, though, I use honey.
Honey is quite the natural, viscous superfood from the bees, I will say that. I use that for my morning toast and tea every once a week. It's quite the treat, an edible one.
Quite edible indeed, I'd say. Anyway, let's continue onward. Here we got to our left, an emergency exit for this wing. Should anything happen that goes completely beyond our control, we use that exit as fast as possible and we don't need to rely on the main exit for those emergencies.
If you want my opinion, that's even very useful, especially since I noticed the range between the emergency exit and the normal exit. I also noticed that it may take a long time to exit the normal way as well, which is why I think it's convenient to use that emergency exit anyway.
Oh yeah, that one-time part is quite a valid concern actually. We also have the courtyard to exit to, though I'll show that in a little while. But first, we have two adjacent rooms to this corridor, which are not living rooms. One living room is dedicated to this realm, while the other is more akin to the nether.
I will give a fair warning though, if you fight some of those mobs, or even a crowd, there will be some situations where you'll be required to think for a split second and act after that. We guards don't get rid of that easily, nor do we go down without a good fight. But we're not without sympathy, either.
I have one question. If we don't have any gear with us currently, do you store at least some tools, weapons, and armor for us to borrow for target practice?
Yes.
Mind if I use some of that to demonstrate my skills?
Of course. Not at all. Take some of the loot in one of those chests here.
Alright then. Okay, what next?
Flip one of those levers next to a dispenser with any model of your choice.
Alright then. What did you think?
You got very good combat skills. I gotta admit, we have some people who don't excel in the same thing, but that's okay, since not everyone has to be a fighter or a warrior.
I can vouch for that as well. Even though of course while I'm a doctor, I can still heal any of our injured allies anywhere we go. But yes, nice moves you got, Siri.
Why thank you for that compliment. Anyway, continue on.
With pleasure. Anyway, I'm now going to take you to the other mob living rooms. There are quite some passive mobs that I'm going to show you, which is good for food looting and survival in general. To our left, where we are walking, here we have the cow and mushroom looting room. Not only do you get to kill some cows that you spawn for the beef and leather, but if you have shears with you, you can also shear the mushrooms for extra mushrooms, which means that you can make some mushroom stew if you have a bowl with you.
Quite a nice bonus, if I do say so myself. Not only do you go for the main thing, you accompany a few secondaries to supplement it. It's like a side quest within the main quest in a certain game, right?
Are we talking games like Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, for example?
I wouldn't know anything about those games, for that matter, but sure. Anyways, here we are with a pig looting room. Where we loot some pigs for some free pork chops throughout the day.
What about free bacon to go along with it?
Someone said bacon, 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 needs more bacon, the pigs are bacon, fuck this wing, it needs more bacon.
Bacon, 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 bacon.
What the fuck? How did you get in here, Bacon?
I stood away in the bacon line cart so that way I would see if more bacon, 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 bacon would appear in this castle, and it turns out my hunch was right. Bacon, 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 bacon. By the time your lack of bacon tours are over, let's play bacon eating simulator with some bacon. Bacon, 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 bacon.
What's going on?
Yeah, is there some sort of thing I'm missing behind the scenes, or am I going bonkers?
Just ignore him for now. So, miss, what's your name again?
I'm Jardine. Sorry that I didn't introduce myself properly. I'm the new lieutenant of Pixelart and Jimmy's Royal Guard. But anyways, with that interruption aside, let's go over to the next room. Here we are now, in the squid looting room. There are squids and glow squids that we are exhibiting here. With the squids, we get ink sacs. With the glow squids, we get glowing ink sacs. We use these to make light or darkness to signs, as well as other purposes such as that.
Wow. They've always seemed to be quite mesmerizing, if I'm being honest here.
I can agree right there. They also help you light the way in watery and aquatic areas. But before we get too distracted by that, I'm going to lead us over to where we fall. The courtyard. This entire courtyard lets you transition from this wing to the gold one, and vice versa. You can also admire the scenery here, as well as get into the dock, where you can use boats to sail away into the unknown. You just have to be careful where you go if you do. But anyways, I'll let you guys see for yourself what you think of it before we continue.
Oh cool. And I can't see the beautiful sun from here. Who here digs this place?
I do. We have the grass, the fountain, and the duck to admire. Quite a sight to see, isn't it?
Yeah, I wish I could play here all day and call it a win for the store.
We're loving this castle design so much.
Same for me. This courtyard is one sight to see, I will say for the record. If only we could make it a sanctuary for any and all visitors, though.
But isn't the castle a sanctuary within itself?
Oh yeah, you're right.
I like the scenery as much as you guys, but let's not let that take our focus away from this tour.
You're right, though we were only just trying to enjoy it for a minute or two, for the record.
Oh, I see. Fair enough. Then, just trying to make sure is all.
I understand. Now then, now that we got our beauty time for this courtyard, let's continue on.
As you wish. Now then, let's get upstairs to the second floor to show you more. And here we are, in the chic living room. Like the cow living room, there are some bonuses to be added here. Not only can you kill them for mutton, but with shears, you can gather some extra wool from them. You can also color the wool with any dye you have. That means additional wool for your collection.
Wow, additional wool. What if we were to make an entire rainbow out of that, considering the colors of said wool?
I really dig that idea, I gotta say. A rainbow out of wool does sound nice, but we also had a rainbow lighthouse back at Samco Junction.
Oh, you do? Is that made out of wool too?
No, it's made of concrete.
I see. I should assume some of you knew how this would work, then. Now anyways, here we have the chicken living room. Chicken and feathers, for you if you're into that sort of thing.
Be careful around Pix, if he were here with us. You know how much of a sucker he is for chicken.
Oh dear, that would only go one of two ways, if that were the case. Haha.
I could let that slide. And wow, Pix is obsessed with chicken. That means he could use that room to his advantage. Ha 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 ha. Humor aside, though, we gotta get to. The llama living room. We were gonna make it the horse living room, but someone decided against that, saying that horses are a majestic animal and majestic animals deserve to be treated with dignity.
If they're killed for the means of survival, I could understand. But otherwise, I could agree right there. And shouldn't the same go for any other animals? I'm not an animal caregiver per se, but isn't it too much to take in with potential supply overflow? Or am I overthinking this?
Yeah, it kinda feels like something is missing there and needs to be patched up in some fashion.
We know how to handle supply overflow well, and we have some of the resources we need to make other resources, so you don't need to worry about that. But anyways, now that we're done with the mob living rooms right here, now is the time to show the balcony right next to this room. Hey! Isn't it beautiful, guys?
You're telling me. Viewing the courtyard like this again. It feels so special to do so. It reminds me of the time when Scotty and I got married.
Yeah, natural Mary and I cried at that time, in blissful joy. We recall that memory too well.
I suppose you all had a field day to that particular time, huh? Glad to hear that. I wish there was something like that which could make my day. But anyways, on with the tour. This here is the PC gaming room. A great room for PC gamers to casually play some of the games, provided to some platforms there for fun.
Funny, because there were people who played those games for glory and ended up smashing their setups and breaking their stuff over the littlest loss imaginable. I don't mean to be rude there, but still.
I can relate to that well, and I can back that up too. So much hate we get these days.
I wouldn't think about that too much, though, since sometimes I understand what causes this much peace disruption. Other times, though.
You wouldn't understand. I can back that up as well. Sam, Mike, Scotty and I tended to fight a lot in the past, and that never got us anywhere. I never truly understood what drove us to behave the way we did back then.
Unfortunately for me, though Alex, Bruce, me and Tom still fight some of those times, and it's out of much more pettiness.
I feel the same way. Welcome to my world.
As long as people themselves learn at the end of the day from their mistakes, nobody should need to panic or get increasing suspicions.
Knowing Alex though, he'd never want to learn from some mistakes. Because sometimes, he'd just deflect the blame to us instead, and he'd absolutely want to use lethal force on someone he hates if his life depended on it. Though I do appreciate you saying that.
Right, well let's not go into too many details about that. Because I haven't gotten the chance to show you. The console gaming room! Right, there are several consoles, mainly from those that are currently competing for revenue throughout our neighboring planet. Yes, those companies support those consoles for this planet as well.
Wow, who knew? Games in their respective platforms on that planet exist here too? I wonder what even made all that possible in the first place?
That I will never understand honestly. Yet it looks quite nifty to have. Truly an enigma, I ought to say. But anyways, I'm going to show you now. The coral mining room. Though crowded, it's one of the most exotic rooms built by far. Should you mine there, however, it is recommended that you bring a water-breathing potion with you, as well as a respiration helmet and a silk-touched pickaxe. That's how some people get it done, I believe.
That one takes some of us back. I remember when Zevalor told us the news about some of the seas that we were exploring earlier, and the opportunity presented itself, especially when water and ice showed up to help us find one of the sea temples covered by kelp.
Yeah. I also remember when we were hunting treasure before then. And Pixelart and Natural Sam managed to find tridents to call their own.
When we were split into groups that time, it was pretty convenient and weird at the same time how we miraculously found some of the others.
Wow, Natural Sam has a trident too?
Yes, but nowadays he favors his crossbow.
I don't blame him, honestly. Some weapon interests can come and go, though some things sometimes just never change in that aspect.
I see. But now, with that aside, we have the chorus plant harvesting room. Straightforward room to harvest chorus plants from, which makes you feel like you're at the end.
Chorus plant harvesting room, huh? Wasn't there something like this at Purple Town, or whatever it's called?
Purple Town? Yes, although we got permission from its mayor to harvest some chorus plants from there to grow some over to here. That was one part of the process of building this room.
Funny you should mention chorus plants. One time, Sam, Ruffle Robot, Pixelart, Jolchin and I went to the end and stole some diamonds from one entity. But that did not go without any major hitches, I'll leave it at that.
Ouch. I assume it ended in a disastrous way?
Not entirely, but anyways, shall we continue on now that we just covered this floor of the wing?
Oh yes! Thank you for catching me off guard. Ahem! Now time to go upstairs to the third floor. Now here comes the fish looting room. There's cod and salmon on each side of the room. One catch of this, however, is if you dispense some of the fish to the water, they may be hard to kill and loot.
That's not entirely true. Some fish can sometimes be slower or just not that agile, making for easy targets. And besides, I use fire aspect on them. That makes for easy cooked cod and salmon.
Wow, you do? Never knew that. See, this is why even a guard must learn. Ha 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 ha. Now then, we have the rabbit looting room right next to it.
No, not the bunnies. Why the fuck are we looting bunnies? Aren't they majestic creatures too?
Those rabbits are killer rabbits we are looting. Not the cute ones.
Oh, I would have gone nuts if you told us otherwise.
I was gonna say, what did those poor bunnies ever do to deserve that?
Yeah, if we kill the cute rabbits, let alone for fun, then now are we any good? We have zero tolerance policies against blatant animal cruelty anyway, so assume that the passive mobs are bad animals and all that.
But how are we even able to tell if the animals are either good or bad?
Oh yeah, that's especially a good question too.
Some people would say otherwise and miss the point. Hell, some of them would go as far as to compare those animal slaughters to the incidents that happened throughout the history of this planet.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong there.
While we do adore some animals and such, there are some bad ones, so really, it's hard to tell the morality scale behind that, unless it were one of those books about animal revolution. But anyways, should we continue on?
Sure thing. Next up, we got... the balcony of this floor. Hey, it's still pretty nice. Don't you all think so?
Oh boy, this view makes the courtyard much more entertaining to gaze at, much more peaceful. I know we've already done this on one of the previous floors, but hey, I can take whatever.
Yeah. Though then again, I'm wasting everyone's time, so I'm sorry if I am. Now then, without any further ado, we got the storage room for the mob loot. And before anyone interjects, we have a reason for keeping all these supplies here. Although I know this isn't an efficient enough system for food as one may argue, you gotta rely on quality to make some things work. Not quantity, with a fancy-ass system that lets you kill those animals faster. Plus, with some of that, that'd be wasteful.
Question: do most of these rooms of this wing have mob looting rooms, or is there more to that?
There's more. You saw the other rooms such as the farm, the gaming rooms, all those, right?
Oh, right. Sorry.
It's okay. Now then, we got more rooms to exhibit, which are over by this section of the wing on this floor. There's a tree cutting room. This particular one here contains the oak, dark oak, and birch variants. And for cutting room number 2. We have spruce, acacia, and jungle wood. That fits in 6 different types of trees, 3 in each room.
Don't we already have forests of those trees though?
Yes, but we chose to localize some of the trees in each room by the time we built them so that way it would be easier to gather saplings and wood. There are also some other motives for tree cutting like this.
Ha, we didn't see that ever, since we got some fungi for growing a few more trees and placing them after others got back from the nether.
The nether? Never actually heard about that.
It's what we call hell in the universe.
Oh, I see.
Yes, the nether is indeed an alias of hell. But yeah, you just gotta think about what your motive is for growing a tree inside a room and cutting it. Can't just blindly do that, and we know damn well better than that. Now then, without any further ado, we got the watchtowers. Each of them are heavily engineered with a respective direction according to the banner patterns and the appropriate blocks needed to go either up or down, so feel free to read the patterns before attempting to go to that watchtower.
I'll try that. Wow, that's nice. Look, I can't see the town in front of us. I bet that looks even good for sniper guards. Now then, time to go down. And done. So, what next?
Next up, we go to The basement. Starting off with that, we have studios. Production studios, where some people can record some videos, edit them, and even publish them for some to see. Yes, there have never been some studios in the castle before, but now there are.
How much detail are we talking there? A lot or a little?
I don't care how much detail is there, as long as you are yourself in a decent manner.
I try to keep telling some people, be yourself and all that, but no, some of them just have to play it cool and all that to gain reputation. I get treated like shit for absolutely no reason whatsoever, as if I'm a manipulative witch or something like that.
That is indeed quite demoralizing, let me tell you. But anyways, though, let's see some of the studios for at least 1 second before transitioning to the next. And done! Next up, we have the ballroom. With it, we can dance in a wider area with some people while enjoying the music being played in the background. It's wider than the one in the main part of the castle, too.
Oh, I would like to go here someday and dance with Scotty whenever we get the chance. Like, whenever we get a year or so anniversary since we got married. Even though of course we've been married for a while.
I want to do the same for Alex, but he doesn't want our kids to be left alone or anything like that. Seriously, he's an overprotective computer, scared that our kids would be harmed.
Are your kids young?
They're older than you would think, which is the thing. Yet Alex decides to treat them like they're still babies.
Oh my. Well, surely enough he'll change his ways one way or another. Now then, with that out of the way, let's get to the mini theater. If some of us or a few guests want to watch some movies or TV shows, this is the place to do so. We have some programs that allow us to browse for which of the shows or movies we want to see. That, or some of the DVDs or Blu-rays we can browse as well.
Oh wow! That would be a sight to see. That's even good if we want to relive the experiences we've seen on some of the shows and movies, I can imagine.
Correct you are! So now, with that out of the way, I'm gonna show you one last room before we conclude this tour from here, which is gonna be very special.
Oh wow, special room? However this may go, I'm all in for that.
So am I. I think we all are at this point.
Very well. Follow closely, and you will see the truth of this room. And now we got none other than the artifact room. Or treasure room, if you will. This room here allows people to store some of the most sacred items of the Raffle world to date. Examples of such include the ancient orb.
Wow. What about the super crystal, though?
Pix must have done something with it, as far as I can recall. But also, there's hidden security all over the room, so it will not take lightly to any intruders who dare get their hands on them. We consider this room off limits to ordinary folks. It is reserved for Sam, Pixelart, us guards, and any friends of all of the above.
Wow, this room actually kicks ass. That's something functional, something promising, and something that motherfuckers won't get to tamper with. Not gonna lie, that's actually sick.
Yes. We put in a lot of time and effort into making this one work. You can thank Pixelart and the engineers, with its freaky know-how with all the technological security implementation and all that. Now then, I believe I showed you guys everything in this wing, have I not?
Yes, I believe so. And I'm confident that we got this down pat for others to explore when we meet up. Anyways, I wonder how most of the others are doing with their parts of the tour.
Wow, such a beautiful town, not gonna lie.
I know. This town of Parsarkton has been built to express pride in the Raffle world while also remaining humble. It even has this natural aura that keeps this place feeling alive from the TLC we give it.
Ooh. I know that feeling all too well, because those architects of this town have absolutely gone all out with its creativity.
I know, right? Well, anyways, I would suggest we take some exhibits of this town before we get carried away with the scenery. I'll cover the western part of this town. I'll cover the east.
Tech and I will stay with the main group. Sound alright to you?
Yeah. Let's see it. I'll cover the more central parts. And since it's not much, it will be quite a simple tour and not too detailed. Right, let us get started. Here we have the grocery store for this town, which we call Par Store Kin. Just like this town, it's named after Pixelart himself. There are a few aisles that we pick up items and pay for them from. You would know a typical grocery store that does this, and this store here is no different.
Is there a Peter Pan peanut butter alert in effect?
What the hell do you mean a Peter Pan peanut butter alert?
Holy shit! Oh Bob Saget! Ha 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 ha, Tourette's guy from the classic days. Anyway, let's continue on.
Right, now we have what we can call this place over here. The Gold Mini Palace. It's inhabited by Khan.
Wait, Pix built 2 robots and gave them their own palaces?
Talk about giving them the royal treatment.
Whoa, look at that. Now I wish I'd brought my camera.
Whoa, and there's enough minerals and precious metals and gems here to make all of this.
Plus there's more. Bros, we have to go mining later. We need to see more of this place. Calm down there, buff boy. We'll go mining and check the place out. But for now we have to make sure we give these others a good impression, okay?
Alright. Wouldn't want them to think we're a bunch of lunatics.
Right, so this one here is the Emerald Mini Palace. That one's inhabited by Leah. In the middle of them are a few generic houses where the villagers reside in, as well as this park overhead.
Jeez, and all the houses are made of gold, diamond, and emerald.
Yeah, that's kinda what the theme for these houses was supposed to be since Pix has a liking for sacred gems such as these.
Well, yeah, but there's so much of it. It's hard for me to find diamonds and emeralds, and look how much there is here.
Ditto. And netherite was supposed to be much more scarce when we were mining in the nether?
The nether?
Blue showed us some information on what they gathered. It's basically hell.
You can take the saying go to hell literally.
I like this place even more now. You're a crazy guy, you know that. But with that aside, should we go inside the palace's Khan own?
We can go for that later. Right now we can go into the park now. It's one of those central areas where we relax, eat, and talk about some things in a peaceful manner.
Ah yes, the soothing nature of this park. Mark would always inform me of the breathtaking, beautiful nature of the raffle world we've got today. Back when I ran Evalia, the landscape there was anything but beautiful. I envy you guys how you still maintain it in a readily enough manner.
Well, we do have our ways of doing so, I'll say that.
Naturally. So, what's next for us to cover?
Alright, so here we are at the path. We got a few fountains here, though we built these with our insignias. When you turn to your left, when we go up, you'll see a bonfire, as well as a helipad for some rocketcopters. The bonfire is used for whenever something needs to be burned, like an old mattress, or even logs to keep the place warm and alive. We do this on a few occasions, though, like celebratory ones. And lastly, take a look at the mineral lighthouse that was built by a few architects. Made out of iron, gold, emeralds, diamonds, and even netherite.
What's a rocketcopter?
A special type of helicopter.
Oh.
Lighthouse, huh? Princess and I can remember one time that we went on vacation with Mom and Dad. We came across one of those lighthouses ourselves. We decided to go on top of it and take pictures from the highest view. Do you remember, Princess?
Yes, Junior, I do. We were so much younger back at the time when we went there before we became the young adults we are now.
I've really gone through some days like that myself, but then the rest became history. Those really were the days, weren't they?
There's more where that came from, though. Because we have the west and east parts from the park to cover next, it offers more than meets the eye.
since we got 2 parts of the town to cover, east and west, and there's an even number of us, not sure how we should do this.
I've covered the central part with all of us here already. I'll sit out by the park, in case you wanna, give me a holler. Clea, you can take some people west, while Proticon, you can take some more east.
Alright then, sounds fair. Who's going with each of us?
Allow me to take the western and eastern parts with you both. I want to see everything here as much as I can.
Oh ho ho ho, you're bluffing, aren't you?
I'm not.
I know, I'm just pulling your keyboard. Though how do you suppose we'll manage that?
I'll come with you first and then come back for the western group second.
I see. Then we'll hang out at the same spot as Samurai until you guys are done.
Solid, solid.
Like your rubies. Hey 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 hey.
What?
I don't even know anymore. Hey. Anyways. Who wants east and who wants west?
Princess and I will go east. Yeah, especially since sibling bonds are encouraged, like with a buddy system.
Wanna split up tech? Are you sure? Ya can handle being alone on the tour, can ya? Well, sure. Okay, I'll go to the east. Send me west.
I guess that leaves me and Elijah to go west since, well...
We've got to balance the amount of members going each way somehow, but that's not the reason why we're going west.
Okay, so that should be enough people for both sides of this town. As Eva discussed with us, I'll take my group out first.
Great. Then I'll do the same thing in a little while. For now, we'll hang back by the park with Samurai and buy you some time to tour the east end.
Sounds good. Alright then, let's get this going. Proticon squad, on me. Going back to the park, we have a few houses here, alongside a bathroom plenty of people are probably using. But never mind that, we have a turbine when we go over a bit more south-ish. Inside contains some sources we need to keep it spinning slowly. Too much speed with it will blow you away, so some of the people working here do their best to regulate the flow.
That sounds familiar? I once had a team who would work with those turbines a lot. And even the regular windmills that would supply energy, food, water, and lots of more essentials one would name.
You guys must have been a very productive team on that note. Now then, we shall head on over to this fishing hut here, where fishermen would go fishing with a fishing rod or two to catch some fishy fish. You should know what I mean there with fish.
Oh boy, now you're getting me hungry for some fish.
Is there some kind of fish restaurant we could go to in cases like that?
You'll see later on. Anyways, once we head straight to the bridge here, looking straight as you head towards it, you will see a medical clinic, where sick and or wounded patients go whenever they have their situations and get themselves healed. And when you look to your left, you'll see an aquatic quarry there. It'll lead you to a mining expedition where you'll go to a ravine and then find something hidden beneath what you would usually find. And when you turn to your right when you go past a few houses, you'll see a CTF arena, which is short for Capture the Flag. There are 2 teams that are red and blue, and can compete on a few occasions to try and beat the opposing team after a few rounds. Some people make up a few of their own rules, though, so I don't know 100% how this works.
Interesting. Reminds me of those people who live on that farm that has the 2 big structures connected by a bridge. Didn't they call it Ufert?
Isn't this a little bit minimalistic for a Capture the Flag arena? Some of them are usually bigger, last I checked.
I'm sure we can test this one out before we consider making a few modifications. But for now, think of it as makeshift soccer. So anyways, once we head over to our left, leaving this arena back here for a few yards, we can head over to the place called Aquavern. It's basically an aquatic tavern where some people eat whenever they're hungry.
Oh, so this is the restaurant that apparently has the fish you and I were talking about?
Yup, princess. There's your guy's answer.
Well, at least now we know where we can eat should we get hungry for fish. But it seems like this is it for this part of the town. Is there anything besides those houses?
Unfortunately not. We could cover some of those houses, but some villagers would not take kindly to that since they would assume we're breaking into their homes, when that's far from the truth. But anyway, let's regroup with the others over at the park.
Which means I'm gonna go over to them and tour with them over, as discussed earlier. It's been fun seeing all this with you guys. Alrighty then, I'm here now. We shall proceed after you, Glia.
So then once we pass over a few houses on our end, as well as a bathroom they may be using, we'll head on over to this one masterpiece of a house. I think it's a consulate. I heard from Pixelart that one of his friends was building that one to allow for people to get homes away from their native lands, as well as keeping the peace and relations with the Raffle world.
Magnificent! The architectural style of this world is so unique.
Back in my day, that was never possible. When I led Evalia, there was no such thing as consulates. Thinking back to that now, it was a terrible mistake for me.
At least you're on the verge of redeeming yourself, as far as we've been informed. Either way though, it's sweet to have several nations bond with one another, whether it be in several means of doing so. But anyways, here we have a few meters away from us, the Parsarkton Light Trail Station. So many engineers gave all that they could to make interprovincial travel easier than it was back in the day. I commend them for that, gotta say.
Doesn't it normally take years to build shit like this?
You would think that, but in actuality, other engineering companies just simply do the work quickly, making some of the other companies look like snails. And I'm not saying this to offend those who are fans of the slower companies. I mean, they're allowed to do it in whatever pace they want, it's just a matter of putting quality work into it above quantity. Doing so neatly with time, you know.
I see what you mean. Though what the fuck are these places past those few houses? Is it supposed to be a bank and a restaurant adjacent to each other?
Yes. To your left, there is the diner and a bank. The diner, you'd eat at breakfast, lunch, or even dinner, and the bank, you'd get some money to or from your bank account. But that place is just as easily prone to theft.
Reminds me of the Payday series as a result of it. But anyway, before I overthink that, what's this on the right?
Good question. There we have further from us, a land quarry where people can mine for several resources. We travel a short tunnel before we go into one of the cave systems that we use to mine said minerals. The small building next to it is a mission control building. Mission control people give teams of adventurers instructions and advice along the way for their exploration missions. Later on when teams are at certain positions, though, things do get harder or easier, depending on their circumstances. Now, that should be everything for this part of the town.
Hell yeah, now we're talking. This I understand all too well. I wonder, is this place open to the public?
GN.
Elijah.
Starla?
And Taigi?
Hold up, didn't Jiyen and Elijah say you were asleep?
We were, but after we woke up, we decided to go for a little walk, but then we stumbled on this display of a town here.
We've been touring around it this whole time. Is there a problem?
No, not really. All we're wondering is how this town came from out of nowhere.
It didn't, it just took some time for some of us and our staff to build this. Though of course we were going to regroup with the other people who were touring this town anyway, so that should give you a chance to see some of those landmarks we've shown the others earlier.
How exactly do you build stuff here? Is it always so fast? I've always wondered that, especially since everything's made of blocks.
Yeah, Though speaking of others, I wonder how the others in the castle are carrying along?